Hello there and welcome to a bit of Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. Here's hoping the game doesn't crash this time. We're going to be entering Cloud 9, or so I hope, because I believe this is the only level available to us. If it isn't, we may have to start again. Let's have a look and find out. So yeah, so the game went through 2 loading screens and then it crashed. Also as well, I can't hear the audio, but it should be recording properly this time. So I will have to go without audio, so you guys can benefit from my Let's Play. It's not really that much of a... it's not really that great a sacrifice, is it? Really? Or that much of a boon to you. Ah, so the game is actually working this time. I'm going to save before it decides to dial its ass again. So, this is what I believe to be Cloud 9. I'm not quite sure. I'm not going to check the atlas because it's very slow. Okay. Ah, we automatically told the NPC. That's good.
Hey, Spyro, the Riptocs have invaded
Powder. I wonder if he's been called Powder because of sleep powder, maybe. I do all. Oh. Ah, okay. So actually, electric breath does have a use. Now I will give Enter the Dragonfly props because I remember now. Yes, that this is the level for the electric breath. Although I tell a lie. There's other levels where it comes in handy. Oh, we've just got the ice breath. Just like they couldn't have centered it anywhere, could they? They couldn't have just put it like there or on this moon square here. No, they just had to plonk it on the ground. Yeah, so like this level is actually quite good in that it does use the electric breath. For not really its entirety, you know, you can still use your fire breath. You've still got to use your bubble breath to catch dragonflies. But in the meantime, you know, it's pretty good that we've actually got a reason to use it now, and fully appreciate its use as well. Now, for some reason, the frame rate is pretty bad at the moment. I'm actually looking again. Yeah, it's supposed to like. Part of the emulator is running at 60 FPS, so it's definitely not my PC that's slowing down. Yeah, it's at between 59.59 FPS and 60. So why it's slowing down, I don't know. Like, is it really that these clouds are using up so much, like these here around the sides, using up that much memory to keep it running or whatever? I don't know, but yeah, it's really choppy. Like, actually, this part here is the smoothest because it's not really having to load all that much, except those clouds above again. Like, the texture quality on, like, the environments as well isn't particularly great either, like, nothing to write home about. It's quite smooth, but again, like I'll be saying this a lot, but, like, a Hero's Tale managed to do this just fine without such frame drops. So, what's down there, pray tell? Oh dear, sorry, I failed to see that. Yes, thank you for stunning me. I didn't need to be stunned that long. Moving on. So with any luck, I should have a bit more time to record today. I do like that the Riptocs actually do pick up, pick up your presence sooner, and you know, like start firing. Well, that one didn't, but yeah, they react a bit faster, which is good. Do I really want to be up here this early? Yeah, let's stay up here for a bit. But I must keep in mind that I need to go down there. Oh, hello. That was a thief. Very different to what we are used to. But the robes and the hoods, that was a much more wizard-like one, I think. Hiding the baskets there, how very Spyro too. Also, took some destroying as well. Not very Spyro. Now, I realise, I fully appreciate that my gameplay is probably very pedestrian. Like in my Okay, so you beat a thundercloud by using thunder on it. Someone explain that to me. Yeah, so I realise my gameplay is probably very pedestrian. It will be because like I'm just trying to take the care to catch all the gems, because Sparks didn't do it last time. So I've got to be really careful to make sure that I get absolutely everything. Let's change the lightning breath for a change, as well as the fact that it improves performance. Well, or rather stabilises the pistol performance. As seen before. But yeah, I try to take extra care just picking up all the gems, because I would like to complete the game, I would like to get all the gems. But I realise that's going to prove a bit difficult. See, it's because of things like that that I have to take my time, you know, it's like enemies not dying quickly, fodder not being killed immediately, even though it did hit, you know, not catching dragonflies. The game has sort of trained me to spend the extra time. What helping as well is having to zigzag to get gems. Like, I would like to have confidence in Sparks to pick up gems, but as seen there, oh, and over there, he doesn't. So now I've got to go back and see, are there any more missing that I can see? Right. There was someone on Dark Spyro who sees this game as like the best of the Spyro games, and I'm not quite sure why. I don't understand how the characters are, for example, like better developed or more charismatic. I mean, some of them are, I guess. But I don't see how one could tell me that like this game is like better developed. Like, how could you begin to appreciate all the good of the games, of the original games, when it runs this poorly, you know? It's something I can never really get about a lot of the PlayStation 1 classics, the must-plays, which people incorrectly call them, like God of War, for instance, 2018. Apparently a must-play. No, it ain't. But yeah, I don't understand like how someone could prefer this game over the others when it doesn't. Like, I can't even begin to really appreciate all the good it does. I can appreciate a lot of the good ideas, like, because I'm a Spyro fanboy who's actually, like, willing to give a lot more credit than I think most critics are for, I think, most games. I'm willing to bat for a lot of games. Like, you've seen my kart racer reviews, I would think, and I've sort of pointed out some of the good that has come from, you know, in those games that people may ordinarily dismiss. I make a point of trying to find good in things that people may conceive to be bad, perceive to be bad. And whatnot. I'm not going to make shit up about a game to make the devs feel better or whatever. But if I could see a good concept or whatever, I want to give it praise. And this is one where, like, I think like some of these levels are good. I'm not going to say great, they are good, but they need improvements to how they perform. Oh, didn't go through the whirligig, never mind, but it catches me there. So it appears as though I can't go through the whirligig via flight. Now, if I'm correct in thinking, there was, in one of the Spyro games, maybe 3, where like you had to actually go from one whirligig to another in flight. May have even been Spyro 1, come to think of it. So we don't need the bubble breath here, so we can change back. Sparks, rather myself an extra life. I do sort of appreciate like the fully 3D UI elements. Ah, so I wonder if it's that's perhaps taking up so much of the the processing speed. I say that as if like I'm, you know, as if it's an actual thing, you know. Like, I'm trying to sound technically minded, and like, actually, I don't have a fucking clue. Oh, can't go in. Oh, okay, so we can't go through those clouds. It's a solid object. I thought maybe there might be a bit of a invisible wall just behind them. No. No, there isn't. Hey, it remembers the fodder I've destroyed. The trees I've destroyed. That's good. So now there is a bit of an underground bit over here that I need to explore. All the enemies remain dead. That's good. Wish you could do that at the end of a mini game though, but still, never mind. Can't have it all. So yeah, so I need to go down this way. Glad I picked up the gem. Yeah, so we went up last time, so now we're going to go down into... Oh, it is water. Did I say that? I thought that was water before? I couldn't quite tell. There was nothing on the surface to say that it was water. Is there any purpose to this bit being water, given that there's no fall damage in Spyro except endless falls, which I don't really consider fall damage. So, like, that could have just been a floor, and this bit here have like a staircase. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, if you zoom in and oh yeah, there's a bit of a ripple there. Okay, fair enough. I will go back up and just do the route again, just to be absolutely sure that there's nothing up there that I need. Again, I can't trust sparks, and after I spent a good 3/4 of an hour trying to find, you know, a gem valued at 10, was I really gonna, like, am I really gonna take any more risks? No. See, there's a gem there that I haven't picked up apparently. You know, a hero's tale looks better every single time I think about it. Okay, that's where we were worried. But there's no need to worry anymore. So we need to go back to this bear here. And see what he's all about. Ah! Give him back his wand from the thief, of course.
Thanks, Spyro.
Simple.
Now I can power up the swirly.
The swirly. Is that what they're calling them? In fact, I think that term was actually introduced in this game, and I think they went with it since in like the Game Boy Advance games. And yeah, the Game Boy Advance games, they did okay with like the elemental breath thing. Like, not great, but they had an idea and they ran with it. Probably had to run with it as well. Universal Interactive Studios were probably thinking, yeah, okay, you can make the game, but we're having these things that you know, marketing says you have to have. Switch to the electric breath. Oh, I can't quite get down there without risking a fall. I do like how animated the Riptocs are, at least in their initial sighting of Spyro. Leaping in fear. Reminds me of the Norks from Spyro 1. Okay. I'm gonna get these gems before I worry about that prick there. Has he flown all the way back to the beginning? Tosspot. Like, I know it's not the same, but like when I'm editing a video, I have to often think like, is this a good idea? Is this in bad taste? Like, I mean, too bad taste for me. Should I cut that out of the script? Is that suitable? And I wonder, like, what was the thought? Like, how did they reach the conclusion that, yeah, you know what? We're absolutely fine with having these shitty little collectibles that run away from you, that actively make a point of making the game worse. Oh, I see, so he takes a route that I can't get to. So he's not hopping from platform to platform, he goes platform A, which is the one I'm going to now, then platform B, and then the rainbow. Oh no, sorry, I tell a lie, he's going to platform C. And then he goes to the rainbow, to piss me off further.
Hey, it's Savino.
Savino can sod off, right. And if your name's Savino, you can sod off too. Right, I'm gonna go this way for the time being. Just see if there's anything else I missed, and then I will continue. Like, I get giving collectibles personality. I do. Like Jiggies, or just about any, like Banjo-Kazooie is honestly like the ultimate game design workshop on how to do a collectathon. Irritating as the game can be at times, with like some of its puzzles and riddles and whatnot. It can be a bit annoying. Like knowing what's important and what isn't, and like chasing after them. I appreciate that, but the games are still mostly incredible, and will teach you a lot on how to make a collectible. So you've got like the Jiggies, you've got the Jinjos, you've got the, you know, the hints and whatnot. You've got all these kind of things, and the notes as well. You know, which make a noise as you collect more of them. That's all cool. I like that. But having a collectible that is named, that has individual names and runs away, like the naming part is fine. I've always liked that since Spyro 1 with the naming of the dragons. You know, you find these dragons of fascinating names, fascinating and mundane names. And then you get Spyro into the Dragonfly, where the Dragonflies run away from you. That ain't fun. And I realised that they can't dance like the dragons, like the baby dragons of Spyro. Spyro the Dragon. But like. Then again, the fairies on the Game Boy Advance didn't, and I know that I know there's technical reasons as to why they couldn't, but still, you know, don't have them run away, don't have them piss me off.
These lightning clouds are electrifying the pools. Can you?
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Great job, Spyro. While you were taking care of the clouds, I found this flying thing stuck in one of them. He seems lost.
It's a good job I talked to him afterwards.
Hey, it's Takahiro. Can you swim to the next machine? I'm too scared of the water.
I most certainly can. Just as soon as I've collected up all this treasure, that is probably yours, but not very well looked after. I think this is easily one of those cases of like a game trying to be too, I don't want to say realistic, but I think you get what I mean. Like with the water rippling and the particle effects, they were clearly too focused on presentation without taking into consideration the more meaningful side of presentation, like performance. And I get, you know, this is like the first Spyro multiplat, so obviously there's... Sparks, are you picking up these fucking gems? Yes, thank you. Right. Yeah, like, I get, you know, that, like, you gotta make it for multiple platforms, and it's hard to optimize. But this really should not have been released in the state that it was. I mean, yes, it runs most of the time. from what I understand, like this game and others on the PlayStation 2 were notorious for crashing. Like, I don't know how it was for the Xbox and GameCube, but yeah, like, Christ, some of these games were abysmal for their performance. Now, how do I get over there safely? Do I go this way? I don't think. Oh god, okay, that worked. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure like where's the getting off point. It's usually a lot more obvious, but oh well. I ain't complaining. There may yet be revealed a more obvious getting on point, or getting off point rather. So, more gems collected. I quite like that far out view. Yeah, that was quite good. Rather useful. So we only need one more hourglass, and then we're finally done with the main objective. And I think it's fair to say we've picked up quite a few things on the way. I believe that's the end portal. I don't want to talk to him just yet. Deja vu. Oh, well, not quite deja vu. I'm just very much reminded of like a part of, I think, Skylanders Imaginators, or Swap Force, maybe even Trap Team. There's like a hub that you sort of had to deal with before you could progress the story, and like involve time travel, I think. Might have been giants, come to think of it. They all blur into one another.
Spyro.
Yeah, it's no problem. You ain't got a Dragonfly for me. Never mind then. Right, up this way we go. Yeah, so another thing I think is like causing the performance problems is how many buildings there are, how many structures there are. Like, you'd see a lot in the older games, like there's all these buildings that seemingly go nowhere, have no windows, and just like have very little artistic merit in the zone. Or dead ends that don't mean anything, but yeah, they lent an air of mystery, but it didn't come at the cost of performance. Oh, is he climbing all the way?
Hey, it's
Goose. What will they think of next? Now, I don't know if actually burning all those bushes yields anything. But, who knows, maybe. I don't know why, but there's a certain appeal of like climbing up clock towers in the platform games. Right, saved. Let's have a look at what's through here. Climb far enough to get there. Yeah, if my platforming skill is a bit rickety in this game, one, I'll accept that. Obviously, you may well have seen my Crash Bandicoot playthroughs, but yeah. Excuse me, the Puffy Palace. Right, it's under attack. Please save us from the battleships. Over a Spitfire, okay. So this was the developer's take on the biplane levels of Crash Bandicoot 3. As you can tell, it's not very good. Like, the other games had, like, for instance, much better, like, much greater signs of, like, for instance, like, if you're doing damage, like, just rocking the boat here, so to speak, is not exactly a helpful sign of like if I'm actually doing damage to this thing. So do I have to take out the little ships first? Do I have to take out the big ones? So there's smoke pouring out of them, so I suppose that's helpful. There's fire on that one, great, okay. Okay, seems as though they're self-repairing maybe, or... I don't know what's going on. Ah, that's one. It's two. I'm getting a bit fed up with this now, so... Zoom ahead. Square button or X on my controller. There we go. That's all full. Like, the controls are fine.
This Dragonfly was taking shelter inside the palace. Here, you can have it.
Oh, what a shame. Should have destroyed the palace then. Yeah, so it was alright, but not really my cup of tea.
If you'd like to try shooting a few more battleships, I'm sure there's a few more out there. Defend? Okay, come back later.
I wasn't a big fan of the biplane levels in Crash, but they sort of had some merit, like back when, like the game had, you know, back when like the time travel stuff had artistic merit. Like relics being in any game after Crash Bandicoot 3 have no merit. The relics were supposed to be like based on like ancient Egypt. And the whole time travel theme. And well, if you're not going to do the time travel stuff... Oh, hello. Can't believe I missed him.
Hey, it's Marty.
Or her, rather. Yeah, like, if you're not going to do the whole time travel thing, then why do you have the time travel stuff? So, but anyway, getting back to the biplanes. So the biplanes were like, okay, so you're going back to like World War 1 and 2. Okay, it makes sense, fine, that you're going to be in like different planes and whatnot. Here, it's like you're just trying to knock off like one of the worst things about Crash Bandicoot 3. It's not necessarily that they control badly. It's not necessarily that they weren't fun. But let's not pretend that like we play Crash Bandicoot for those things. So, we're still missing one. We've got another thing. So we must have another mini game. This takes us back to the beginning of the level. Ah, hello. Let's see where this takes us. I imagine I'll have time for one more level after this. Aren't you lucky, boys and girls? Okay, so here we are, okay. Now there's another thing. Why does Spyro need a plane when he has the Super Flight and the Super Flame power-up? Like, he had the combi power-up in at least one game. So why not have that here instead of putting him in a plane? It's what I was saying about the, you know, Konami's Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex. If the vehicle makes the character worse to play, or if it has, you know, if it gives me less reason to play the game of the character of the game I'm playing, then it's not really necessary for the game, is it? Right, are these things... Yes, they are. Right, they're collectible as long as I know. Holy Christ. These controls are a bit floaty. Not helping either, it's like I can't see all that clearly. So these, like the stars themselves don't necessarily look it, but like at the bottom there, they look like oh shit, like Doshin the Giant. Yeah. But if no one else sees it, it was just me. Right, if we want to get the race car Riptox. Yeah, not helping, of course, is the amount of cloud, fog, so I can't hit things properly or see where my route is. Okay, so I think they're around that. Okay. I do like the bed knobs and broomsticks style bed there. Planes, rather. It's very clever. Oh, Christ, it's this one. Don't get hung up, Spyro. Shit, I don't think I've got this one. No, close. If only the level was competently designed, then I would have had that. I would like to remind people that I wanted to bat for this game. It does not mean, that does however not mean, try again, that does not however mean, however, that does not mean get there in the end run. Remember, you were qualified to do A-level English. However, that does not mean that I am going to bat for it. I want to. I desperately want to. I want to like the game, but at every turn it makes it difficult to appreciate whatever the fuck it is. Like, the performance isn't great. The soundtrack isn't overly impressive. I'm sorry, Stuart Copeland, it's just not. Like, the antagonists aren't overly impressive. I'm glad there's like a return to consistency. Like, so what I mean by that is like you have the Riptox again, like you have the Rhinox before. I think it's a bit late introducing Riptox, to be honest, in a game where, you know, like when Riptos already existed and didn't have them before, it didn't really make sense not to have them. It would have made sense as like in like the Crash Spyro Fusion games, which really will be a bit of, because I don't intend on playing the whole fucking things. Not without copious amounts of save states. But I can use some of my old review footage to show you what happens at the end of those games, if you would like. But yeah, I like that much. What else do I like? No, I will not try again. I like Spyro's design, I will admit. I do like that they've given him fuller features, like his eyes especially. I quite like Sparks as well. Because if you remember, like, Sparks from Spyro 1, really minimal design, but then Sparks wasn't supposed to be like a major character. In order, capital O. Then again, I do that a lot on forums, so what do I know? Well, I've been alive a lot longer than the studio that made this game, so I think that answers the question. I wonder what I really do actually wonder, like, what are the developers of this game doing now? Because I hope they're on to, like, better projects. Like, I hope this one actually got them work. Like, for all the criticism I have, like, I really hope that this wasn't their last, their final foray into game design. I want them to go on to do other projects, because, like, they actually understood, they understood the assignment. They didn't do it very well, but they understood it. They knew what Spyro was about. Okay. Yeah, so they understand Spyro. That much is evident. But, like, the technical prowess isn't great. I know I sort of flip-flop on this, where, like, they actually don't and they do. No, I think they do. Like, deep down I know that they do understand Spyro. It's just the execution is so bad, and the execution gets in the way of like, my view of what the game could have been. But what the game could have been doesn't entirely matter when you've got to think about the fact that, well, this is the game that we got. You know, this isn't the one we wanted, it's the one we fucking got. And it's the one that they're and ultimately it's the one they're charging money for, or were charging money for. Yeah. I'm sorry, it's not fair on those who bought the game and were disappointed to sort of, like, absolve the developers, or rather the publisher, of all the problems, however good the game is. You know, it's like these problems are still present today if you buy the game. There wasn't any patch for this. And, you know, like, keep in mind, like, the only reason why we get games, like, in states even as bad as this today is because we have, you know, patches and whatnot, like the internet allowed it. Which, you know, like, in retrospect, it's like actually added like a lot of has ruined games discourse quite a bit. People believe that, oh, back when games were games and not about money. No, they've always been about money. Like, do you not remember arcade machines? Yeah, 20 pence a pop to play Donkey Kong. Yeah, purposefully engineered to make sure that you didn't get to the end of the game. Then they brought that to consoles, where you paid a fortune. You would have paid more on a video game for your home console, not to mention you had to pay for the console itself, to have a short game that you wouldn't see the end of. But you got your money's worth out of just trying to beat it, you know? The culture changed considerably around the time of, like, the Nintendo 64 and PlayStation 1 and Sega Dreamcast. Right, we've done all that. So that's good. So now we've just got one of those electric devices to activate. And I think I know where to get that one. I think that was more down the centre at the beginning of the game. So yeah, yeah, it's always been that way. It's just that, like, it's only because of the advent of, like, being able to patch games that games are now released broken, and of course as well the fact that people pay for them. People pay out the nose to be ripped off. As have I. You know, I used to pre-order all the goddamn time. And I've sort of just given up on my stance against pre-orders and against loot boxes and whatnot, because no one's interested in beating them, so join them. You know? Or rather, I should say, not enough people. Those who still fight, I mean, I would commend you, but, like, well, the war's over. The war was over. The war against loot boxes ended when they were outside of games like when they exited games like TF2. When they make headlines and people continue to buy them. When legislation is made against them and people continue to buy them, and EA puts them in games outside of sort of like Scandinavia, you know, countries who block them, you know. But yeah, it's like, no, games. Going back to my original point, like, games were never just about gameplay. They were about money. Yeah? There was certainly a lot more passion, perhaps. But no, the internet has certainly enabled those who wanted money to get even more than they have ever dreamed of before. Yeah? Who would have thought that, like, you know, Bobby Kotick would be making millions each year, or, like, you know, reaching billions, you know? And then they fire people because they hit targets, so they can make more money next year. Let's make a saving now so we can add that to our earnings report next year. Yeah. It's only because we've allowed them to make the money they have that they do make the money that they do. Just trying to figure out where to go next. Because I know it's the big... going back to the end. Yeah. But where are those remaining... where are those remaining gems? It looks like we ain't gonna have time to do a second level after all. Because it'll be spent hunting the last of the gems. The UI was getting stuck in, yeah. Now what's that about? Never seen anything, well, I say that actually, I have seen that before, and a good too many, yeah, a good too many Steam games that get released too quickly, that have no intention of getting better. At least they might have done before they saw the sales figures. Right. Well, let's go to the end. Let's pick up our... I think this is going the right way, I don't know. Well, it is, we're going this way. We'll go and try and get the Dragonfly and hopefully pick up the last of the gems. This is what happens when you make your games too big. You make maps that are too big and you have to spend ages looking for the gems. And I suppose that's retention. Like, I mean, that wasn't really a thing back here in this time. Like, you didn't have to have like your logging quota. You know, get people playing so many hours per day. You know, your recurrent user spending, your user retention. Your whales and your dolphins and other such dehumanizing terms that we continue to allow. Just want to look at this guy for a bit longer. He doesn't yield anything, I could kill him anyway. Eventually. Or just for the pure hell of it. I don't think that destroyed it. I'm just going to go back up there actually, just see if there's anything I missed. And check around the edges here. You know, if you complete this game, I think you're actually enrolled into the police's sniffer dog program. Like, if you get all the gems. Because there's no way in hell anyone human at least, is going to get them all. I might actually be the only person in the world who's actually bothered to complete the game. Because why would you waste your time trying to find all the gems in this? Who has like nearly 2 hours a day to look around for gems? Wait a minute. Don't tell me I have to do all these all over again. Let's hope not. Just power them all up again just to be sure. Sorry, I'm not having a stroke, I'm just I can feel a sneeze coming on. Yeah, I had hay fever really bad this morning. Like this crazy tickly throat, really bad cough. Sneezing like crazy. Never had hay fever like that. The last time I had hay fever like that bad, in fact, it wasn't even that particularly bad. It was like it was in my eyes, whereas like my eyes with that, you know, just like caked in pollen. This was in like when I was on holiday in Scotland. And, like my eyes were just covered in pollen, and like I just couldn't open them. I was practically blind because I couldn't get them open. It hurt that much to see. Yeah, would not wish it on my worst enemies. Well, that I would, because like it's just that isn't the worst thing I could wish on my worst enemies, to be honest. But yeah, but yeah, supposedly the hotter weather is making everyone's hay fever even worse, including people who don't really have hay fever are starting to develop it in asthma-like symptoms. Which is no good. All this toxic air that's going around. Jesus. Like, God bless the Clean Air Act, but oh, come on. And the plus side about the summer, I am acclimatizing to it. I'm not as sweaty and bothered about summer as I normally am. That's because I'm losing weight, eating better, staying more hydrated, and just like exposing myself more to the sun. Not the Sun newspaper, God no. Now then, have you got a...
Thanks for the help, Spyro. Here's a dragon
there we are.
for you.
Thank goodness for that.
Hey, it's Rick.
Well, that's 10 out of 10 dragonflies, that's fantastic, but where are the remaining gems, pray tell? How many am I missing? I'm missing 14. See, when it's a big number, like you're talking about 30 or 40, then it's like, okay, there's a big cluster, there's a little unexplored area that I haven't covered up, there's a chest, maybe, like a mystery chest. But when it's a number like this, it's harder to figure out. Where could 14 gems be? I haven't yet explored. Around these winding paths, perhaps? Who knows? In fact, are they down there? I don't think I went that way before, did I? Let's have a look-see. Anything down here? It appears not. That appears untrue. That's something I want to read. So I think I mentioned before, like I'm getting quite into comics. What I'm reading at the moment is Chew, which is about cyberpaths. So people who can, like this detective who can eat something and like recall its memories and things like that. Which is a fascinating thing, and it just keeps getting crazier and crazier. And hey, good on them. It appeals to me as like some of like those memes and such in like the mimetic format of like just the bonkers review format that I have. It works quite well in the comic. Lots of just like breaking the fourth wall stuff. Yeah, it's incredible for that. So yeah, I've been reading that, but like what I really want to read is like the Darth Vader comics. Like those are really good apparently. And another one as well. I want to read about Doctor Doom. Like I don't care like Marvel's Doctor Doom. I don't really care much about the Fantastic Four, but Doom is like a really good villain. Like especially when he interacts with other villains as well, like Thanos or Red Skull, anyone like that. So yeah. Gonna try around there with a look-see, and then figure out where to go afterwards. But let's try this platform here. I don't think we went this way before, or did we? Nope. Apparently not, we're going that way. Let's look down here. Yeah. I finished, because I quite like Garth Ennis' works. I was first exposed to his work with The Boys. But then I like read Preacher, and it's really good. I wish, yeah, it focused more on like the religious angle. I think most crazy, edgy atheists do. But yeah, I really liked it, and I would love to have seen like more of that. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like Preacher, and its ending was satisfying enough. Yeah, back before like a load of batshit craziness from Ennis, like Crossed. Don't read Crossed. It's just look at some like out of context comics. Yeah, and believe me, that's all the context you need. You don't need much more context than like if you see someone yelling "horse cock" like that. That's all the context you need. And yes, that is something that actually happens. And it's even like the worst thing to be beaten over the head by a severed horse penis, and that, believe me. Spyro Into the Dragonfly, everyone. Yeah, but I was reading like The Lion and the Eagle, also by Ennis, and like when he's not writing like just horrific stories of mutilation and creative ways, to say the least, he is actually like he does write a good war story. Like he's a massive fanboy of like the Lee Enfield rifle, which features in Preacher, probably in The Boys as well. He did a comic called 343, I think it was. Yeah. And that was like sort of based around the Lee Enfield. He did another comic about like another zombie, like Stitched, I think it was. Where the Lee Enfield features as well. The Lion and the Eagle, though, is like he likes his war stories. When Ennis writes a war story, he does a really good job of it. And that's like about like the Gurkhas in the Second World War, who are slowly but surely being recognised for their the aid they gave to Britain during the Second World War. Like yeah, like they're very much not immortalised or evangelised. I suppose they are like evangelised in like British war stories, like the SAS and whatnot. Yeah. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a historian by any means. But yeah, I do find that the stories are very entertaining to say the least. Gonna have a look over here again. But yeah, if you've got any comics recommendations, I'd be more than glad to take them into consideration. Oh, of course. Well, how did I forget the Punisher as well? I love Ennis's Punisher Max run. Yeah, Punisher Max. Like, if you love the Punisher, read Punisher Max. It's incredible. In fact, one thing I really like about it as well, it goes into like how, like, the Punisher, like, Castle won't kill the police, but he doesn't like them evangelizing them. He doesn't like them evangelizing him. It goes into the whole thing of like the cop Punisher sticker on police cars, and he just tears it up in front of these officers and says, "Look, I wouldn't have you, but you know, talk to Captain America. He'll have you. You know, put his sticker on your police car." Yeah, I thought it was quite good. It's a shame that, from what I understand, like the official like Punisher logo has had to change. Oops, has had to change because of you know what's going on with police officers misappropriating or rather inappropriately using the logo. No, the Punisher is a result of the legal system failing him, or more specifically, his family. The police officers don't get to use it because of that. You know? So yeah, it's like, you know, it's a vigilante sticker. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie though, I haven't really been overly impressed by some of the things that are like must-reads, like Civil War. I read that and it's like, it's okay. Could have gone into a bit more discussion about it, about the idea of like superheroes like being unmasked and legitimized. Which like The Boys sort of does. Oh dear. That's what happens when you get for concentrating on comics rather than the game in hand. Yeah, it's like it's okay. I wasn't overly impressed with that. Marvels was really good, going into like the origins of like the first superheroes that ever featured in Marvel comics. Like the Human Torch and whatnot, and like this journalist uncovering their chronicling their stuff and like writing a book about all the Marvels, the first Marvels. Which I like. It goes back to like the sort of pulpier times of Marvel, back before like, you know, God was a Marvel character and whatnot. Yeah, it's nice. Like, I'm tempted to get my dad that one, to be honest, because like, it's a really good one. Ruins as well. Like, that was like the opposite, where like the Marvels were, something's not right. Like, it feels like the characters of that universe feel like they're in the wrong universe. That there's a better world than this one. And yeah, like for instance, like instead of like Peter Parker, instead of becoming a like Spider-Man by being bitten by a radioactive spider, he actually has like this rash all over his body that's highly infectious and kills the reporter in the end. I'm sorry for spoiling that. But yeah, like Hulk becoming like a mass of tumours, who's like thought to be dead but is actually like still alive. The Ghost Rider, being a stuntman, dies during one of his performances. It is basically like misery porn, but I mean, I liked it. You know, it's appealing to me for that, but it doesn't really have anything to say, and that's like one of my problems with like a lot of the about a lot of the recommendations that I get. That like they're like, what's the point? What's the moral of the story? What's the message they're trying to convey? And sometimes the message is there is no message, or you know, or that isn't the message. There's just no message to begin with. The writer's not trying to convey anything or teach anything, any morals or anything like that. Morals rather, anything like that. They just want to tell a story. Fine, fair enough. That's perfectly suitable. But then I fail to see like the hype behind some of the stories. I haven't picked up any gems yet, have I? Where am I going wrong? Where am I going wrong? We'll keep going. Another story I really liked as well that I think didn't really realise its potential was Old Man Logan. I really like that one. Very Escape from New York kind of thing. And it's like a limited time to get something done in a post-apocalyptic setting. Great idea, I just wish they did more with it. But yeah, they didn't really. What's the pity? I think I said before I've read Watchmen, which is quite good. Like, I enjoy reading it back the second time more than I did the first time. It's quite a lot to get my head around the first time, but once I knew what was going on, it's like, and I sort of figured it all out. It's like, it's so good to read back again. I did see the film originally, but didn't quite get it. Yeah, it's not your usual sort of comic book. And hey, that's fine. Yeah, whatever works. But yeah. Yeah, I like Alan Moore. Even if I don't particularly like quite get on with his works. I do like the man himself, and I think he's an interesting character to say the least. But yeah, like my favourite character to read is like the Punisher. I'll read if you put any Punisher in front of me, I'll give it a fair shake. Yeah, it's just like, because that's the thing I sort of like, really, like it's like with anime. It's like I won't watch much anime, but if it's something violent and, you know, violent and bloody and gory, I'll give it a watch. Like Golgo 13, absolutely. Ghost in the Shell, fine. You know, Lupin the Third I like for the sheer craziness of it. Like, I mean, in my old reviews of like the Crucial Gamer Show, like in fact the Crucial Gamer Show's theme was one of the Lupin the Third themes. Which reminds me, I really must put my those videos on a hard drive for my darling Larissa, because I'll be seeing her soon. So she'll have all those to watch. But yeah, like most of them haven't survived, and I will not be re-uploading them, I'm afraid. They just weren't that good. I do like, I like having them for like historical purposes, for me to like look back and go, this is what I used to do. You know, so for Larissa it'd be interesting for her to see maybe like what my old review process was like, but yeah, it's not, they're not fit for uploading really. I genuinely don't know where these things are. How long have I been filming for, pray tell? Okay, an hour. Sorry. Just seeing what I got running at the moment. Sorry. I keep asking about. I do apologize. Where are these remaining gems? What area have I not explored thoroughly enough? I'm gonna have to check down here again. I've got to know. Like, I don't mind a collectathon, but I want things to be fairly straightforward. It's one thing I didn't like about ukulele. It's like it's like it tests your gaming instincts like really well. It's like, hey, you know, it's like you could tell they knew that you, for instance, like here, if you went around this, if you tried to get on that ledge, you'd be able to go around and you'd find a collectible. But there were times where it's like, really, was that supposed to be obvious, or was that supposed to be like a secret? And the thing as well is that in a game that I think ukulele had extra lives, I'm not sure if it did. But it's like, you don't really want to be losing too much time and progress to, you know, to guesswork, do you? I don't need the ice. I know I don't need the ice power up. There's no way. There's nothing here that would require ice to get 14 gems of all things. Can these pots be broken? If I charge, nope. Can't charge them, can't break them. Nope, bounce right off if I do. Now 14 gems are not going to sprout out of there just because I charged. I'm going to have to check around every single one of these pillars. I am so sorry for making everyone dizzy. But I genuinely don't know where these gems can be. Like, I'll accept that I've sort of been glossing over the screen, like, you know, eyes glazed, because I've been talking about other more interesting things than this. But I should have come across just one of the 14 gems by now. Surely. Gotta check this. I am missing some still, aren't I? Right, maybe check on top of the pillars. But let's have a look around here, so it's definitely not in here. Oh! Discord has flared up. Let's check what's about soon. It's like these sort of individual pillars, I'm gonna have to check. Like these ones I know haven't got anything on, fine. You know, this is why I couldn't get into games testing. Like having to do things like this. In fact, no, things more mundane and tedious than this. Like crouching and jumping on every single square pixel. Because you have to know that there isn't a bug or a glitch. I'm now having to round all of this to make sure there's no baskets that I'm missing. Those stars, that star fodder really doesn't help either, because I don't know if that's a gem glimmering or if it's actually just bullshit, you know, fodder. Like, just fucking crucify me, that'd be more fun than this. And I could still talk about comics. I can only sigh so much and lick my lips in boredom. Fucking hell. I'll tell you another comic that I really ought to read, because like, I mentioned this in my Team Sonic Racing review, which at this rate isn't going to happen. Like, so these are the pillars I want to have a look on top of when I get up there. The Sonic the Hedgehog comics, they're apparently really good, and they have a huge array of characters that aren't present in Team Sonic Racing, even as DLC. Like, I'd be willing to I'd be willing to pay real cash money. Well, by debit card at least. I'd be willing to pay for characters like, you know, was like Fang the Sniper and Boom the Dynamite and whatnot. You know, I'd pay for those characters, but they aren't there. What do? They take the exact same. They take the characters from Lost Worlds, from Colors, from you know, from those games. Like they have like Team whatever it's called with like the crocodile, Vector the crocodile. Y is called Vector. Y is I don't fucking know. They take those characters, but they don't like. They don't have like anyone from the comics, which are like really, which have astonishing art, incredible stuff. Like, I think it was in like one of the like Sonic Mega collections or Gem collections or like that, where like they show you like panels and covers and things like that. Really good stuff in there. That's oh shit. Never mind. That's one I really want to read. Absolutely. Yeah, IDW Publishing did like a good few years worth of issues on that. I imagine there's some Mario comics and mangas as well. The Mario mangas look really good. Some really interesting plots there. Mostly for Wario. Like, Wario is my absolute favourite Mario character. Second only, I think, to Donkey Kong. When I was doing Johnbonne reviews initially, like Donkey Kong was going to be like, not like the mascot, but like one of the main sort of characters of that would sort of feature in memes and such. I had loads of plans for him, and then they went to cock because I don't know, ADHD. A second. I keep thinking that's a ramp down there, but it's not. Oh shit. What lies beyond yonder window break? I don't fucking know. What's down here, basically? Anything? I can't believe this. What am I missing, gang? Someone give me a clue or shoot me in the fucking eye. What is it that I'm doing wrong? Because I'm missing 14 gems. Is it that I can't count and it's not actually 14? Oh, what the fuck is going on? Oh, Invincible is another comic I need to read as well. Apparently a lot more violent than the TV show. I've seen some clips of the TV show. Looks really good. By Image Comics as well. I'm starting to like Image Comics more and more. They do a lot more comics than I give them credit for. In fact, I think they do Chew as well. I must admit I haven't really been paying attention to the publishers as much as I ought to. Those gems from the bottles, they haven't just disappeared into fat air, have they? I have actually picked them up. They haven't fallen beneath the ground. I'm thinking, do I need to use that sort of super breath to destroy a container out of reach? Like a basket up there that my flame can't reach. What am I doing wrong? I mean, I know what I'm doing wrong. I'm playing Spyro into the Dragonfly. And actually caring about my progress in it. But other than that, what am I missing here? I've been watching The Wire, a terrific detective drama, and unfortunately that they actually solve things in that, unlike me, where all my detective drama instinct has completely gone out the window and I cannot find a fucking thing. We're gonna zoom. Just gotta take the time. And I don't want to give up on this level, because if I give up on the level, I give up on the gems. I give up on the gems, I don't solve the mystery. I don't solve the mystery of the missing gems, I don't get paid. And by paid, I mean I don't get my I don't get my 100%. Page reviewer. Tell you what, while we're here, because in the previous part I cut out a load of stuff about EA and politics and whatnot. So yeah, let's talk about page reviewers. Why not? Yeah, it's like, so do paid reviewers exist? Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Of course, reviewers can be paid off. Now, how well that's hidden, it depends entirely on what they're being paid in. For the record, like the only time I've been paid to do reviews is like is by my editor, you know. Like I did not like getting review codes because review codes come with the review guides, and oh shit. Review guides basically tell you how to review the game, and I ain't interested in that whatsoever. So, yeah, so like, if it was like a cash transaction, like if a publisher or a developer paid a reviewer cash, the taxman would immediately leap on that. What the? Oops, so daisies. What's down here, I wonder? Oh, no, mine's just the entrance. Okay, yeah, so like a publisher or a developer couldn't like pay a reviewer in cash because they get caught. Like the taxman would pick that up easily, and you can't escape the taxman. No one escapes the taxman. The taxman will always get his due. So it can't be cash because that can be easily be traced. You know, that information could easily be hacked. it's probably available on public record as well. Like, and not to mention, like, an editor is not willing to risk. Like, if that was ever caught, an editor would immediately fire the writer. If an editor was getting paid, they'd get their shit pushed in by blacklists. Like, no one would work with them because they don't want to be caught working with someone who takes bribes. Not to mention, there's no sum great enough for like a reviewer to be paid to like give a positive review, or a competitor. Like, I don't know, Sega paying a typical Nintendo game reviewer to write a negative review. It's like they couldn't give them a high enough sum, because if they did, they'd be sent off to like the Inland Revenue Service, the IRS or whatever, you know, or HMRC, Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs. Like that, you just wouldn't do it. You'd get caught doing it, and you can't hide it. You know, the records. No, the amount of records that would have to show that would, no, it wouldn't work. But paid reviewers do sort of exist in the form of like review camp, where like Konami basically held reviewers captive, looked over their shoulders to see how their review of Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain was coming along. You know, like, I don't know how anyone could maintain their ethics and editorial conduct in such a place where the reviews and reviewers were being so closely monitored. Their reviews and drafts being looked at and inspected, and basically just like treated like they're a labour camp, you know. Not to mention as well, like leaving with personalised gifts, personalised PlayStations, personalised Xboxes, personalised Wii's or whatever. Yeah, it's like, no, that doesn't fly with me. I couldn't do anything like that. No, that's the sort of payment that I don't like. And yeah, it's things like access, it's things like adverts, it's things like other means of revenue being generated, you know, ad space and whatnot. So yeah, absolutely look into things like who's paying for the ad space. Is it the company itself, or is it, you know, or is it another website hosting that sort of stuff? You know, look at the disclosure, look at the writer's past articles, look at the site's past articles as to their relationship with the publisher. I mean, you can always ask the editor, send a message to the editor, reviews editor, editor-in-chief, the people in marketing, ask them what their relationship is, and I think most of the time, especially depending on your country, they should be required by law to actually state all of this stuff, or at least at the very, you know, at the very least to, you know, to not lose any favour with their readership. They should try and disclose as much information as they possibly can. That's the thing about the, I guess, creative process, is that, yeah, like, talk to the editor. The editor probably knows more than most about how that particular outlet does things. Oh, there they are. Those are where the gems are. Jesus Christ. So now I've got to figure out how to get up there. I should have known that sooner. So I need to find a way to get up there. Okay, fair enough. I can't believe I hadn't done that sooner. I don't think I'm going to edit this part out, to be honest, because I think that's been quite insightful. But yeah. Anyone has any questions about reviewing and things like that, especially like for publication, you know, do ask me, and I'll try and get back to you. If I've got an answer, I've got an answer. If I don't, I don't, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll try and help you out, because there's a lot of misconceptions, unfortunately, and it's only fair to get those cleaned up. So there's no platform going for. God damn it. So we're gonna have to try and go from there to here. Let's see if that works. No, that's not gonna work. I need to get. Christ. Okay, right. I need to go all the way back up there. Save the game because at least no one doing it. So, yeah. So, yeah. Talk to an editor, ask an editor, and figure out what something is. Because the thing is, like, they're not going to risk their jobs over something like that. It was silly. A lot of this paid reviewer nonsense is just people who don't know anything about it, don't apply any critical thinking, and just automatically assume that if they say paid reviewer, the whole site will crumble, and it doesn't. You know, nothing happens doing that. But I will say as well that, like, investigative journalism in the games industry is properly lacking. Like, we had Jason Schreier, who did a phenomenal piece. And he's kind of like one of the few journalists out there that actually did any investigation, who spoke to developers. Even if they may be like disgruntled ex-employees, it's still someone who actually worked at the company. It's, you know, it's very rare that you actually get like an interview that isn't already like pre-planned and like you can't catch it off guard. Like, for instance, like Peter Molyneux. Peter Molyneux knows how to control an interview, and that's why. Like, I think it was it Ars Technica or Tech Radar? I can't remember who it was. But like this website basically just began the interview by saying, "Right, are you a pathological liar?" And Mr. Molyneux was about to say, like, that's a rather harsh statement. It's like, yeah, I know it's a harsh question, but I need you to answer it. And that's seizing the control of the interview. Because Peter Molyneux knows how to conduct an interview, or rather, entertain an interview. And yeah, he's done it loads of times. Stephanie Sterling did a video called the Molyneux Cycle, and it's basically like it basically goes through his Mr. Molyneux's process of interviewing. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I like Peter Molyneux as a person, but as a developer, no, I think he's a rotten developer. Like, I could listen to him speak all day long. His insights into game development are probably very fascinating, and like, I'm sure he would speak in great detail, like, about the tragedy of game development. But unfortunately, he ain't that good a developer, you know. Like, fascinating to listen to, but when it comes to actually taking him seriously in any way, thank Christ for that. Yeah, but when it actually comes to like listening to him about like games content, no. Like hearing his ideas for a new game, it's like, no, I know he's not going to be able to put them into a game. And I'm genuinely amazed that people have the faith in his products that they do. And again, I think he makes a good game as is. He just massively oversells what it will be. Like Fable, no one can say that Fable is a bad game. None of the Fable games are bad. But I mean, even Fable 3, like if you actually play it rather than listen to Angry Joe's review, which admittedly I did, I based a lot of my criticisms off his thoughts on it. Making it my personality, as the kids say these days. Like, if you actually play it, it's actually alright. It's not that bad. It's not great. I would easily say it's the worst of the 3 games, but it's decent. Especially if you know how to choose the end, which you simply just don't go back to the throne room. You've got like what 3 days to 3 days to get all the money for the kingdom. Just don't go back to the throne room. Doesn't matter how many days pass. It's 3 visits to the throne room that do it. Or however many it is. Yeah, you don't have to go back. You don't suffer sleep exhaustion or anything like that. It's not D&D, Christ. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, reviews. Yeah, talk to the editor, talk to PR, get to know the review process. Ask for the code of ethics or review guide, things like that, and then test the review, and then actually read the articles and see, does this actually match what the review guide says? Yeah. With scores as well, it's the editor who applies them. Back when I was writing for the local paper, I would decide the score, but I gave my editor my scoring guide. Oh, hang on. Cutscene. As a reminder, I can't hear any of this. Hopefully you guys can.
Blasted! Where are they? Where are my dragonflies? Excuse me, oh short one. Sir, short one. Something went wrong with your scepter. I think the dragonflies were scattered all over. Scattered! Scattered! Oh, something must have gone wrong with my scepter. The dragonflies must be scattered all over the continent. No matter. Without their dragonflies, the dragons are helpless. I'll send my Riptox out to collect them all and put that purple dragon out to pasture.
So that was probably something about a meddling dragon. And possibly even getting the final boss stage. We shall see. Because we've got about like 2 or 3 more levels left. Maybe like 3 or 4. One of which I don't think... Like, so you can actually face the final boss before you even get the final level. I haven't seen the final level yet because out of all the times I played this game, because I simply beat Spyro Ripto first. So yeah, when I spoke to my editor, like I would give them the review guide, talk with them about a score, and that would be yeah, that'd be it. And then we'd discuss and decide on the final score. And my scoring system, like I'll have to explain it. So if I can explain it now, because I'm only unlocking the final level. Although we can actually do a bit of stuff with. Let me just have a look. Hello, mate. In fact, yeah, let's try and get the final Dragonfly or Dragonflies in Dragon Dojo. Dragonfly Dojo? No idea. Anyway, let's have a look here. Why would we be able to get the final gems? So strangely, this is encased in ice, but fire won't melt it. Ice will. I don't know. Right, you're telling me about this late, aren't you? Because, like, you don't get this far without, you know, checking the atlas. So over here is like the final level, which I couldn't get to before because, again, don't have the gems for it. Just quickly zap this bug, or not zap it, bubble it.
Hey, it's Fluffy.
There's Pinky and the Brain, or one of them at least. So yeah, so like my review score system is like a 1 out of 5 is a technically bad game that I did not enjoy. A 2 out of 5 is a technically good game that I did not enjoy, or a technically bad game that I did enjoy. A 3 out of 5 is a technically good game that I did enjoy. A 4 out of 5 is a technically good game that I greatly enjoyed. And a 5 out of 5 is just immortal. No one's getting that. Except some very, very specific games. The thing is, it puts an end to the whole hate out of 10 thing, as again Jim Sterling called it. A 1 out of 5 is the only bad score. A 2 out of 5 is still good. A 2 out of 5 is still a good score. As long as you don't get a 1, your game is doing okay. Because it's either technically good or technically bad, and I either enjoyed it or I did not. But either way, the game succeeds. It's either a game that I enjoyed, even if it wasn't technically good, or it's technically competent. Yeah. So like this would be like a 2 out of 5 at best, because it's a technically bad game that I do sometimes enjoy. If it got a 1, then it would have to be worried. But a 2 out of 5 is still good. Yeah. At least decent. We'll do a bit more and then... Oh, Christ, I don't need to read all this. So it's Ice Breath. And I do like, as well, I just want to say something good about the game for once. I do like that the challenges there are consistent. Unlike the Thief design. Notice how he is very different to the one that we faced earlier in Cloud 9. So let's have a look at what our challenge today is. Oh, these raging fires. I don't think there'll be any down here. Oh no, right, yes there will be. What we don't get the first time, we can get the next. So it's probably a good idea to get the ones up there first. I think there'll be one where the thief level is, which I do actually look forward to going to. I thought that was a really nice idea. For some reason, this reminds me of cake, like those gems of strawberries, like a nice creamy cake. Maybe I'm just hungry. I don't know. 5. In fact, I think that one. The remainder may well just be down here. 3. There's nothing down there. So that's the second. I used to really dislike these challenges, but I have to say they're alright. And it gets you looking at the lobby. It gets you to know it. The problem is that these hub worlds aren't like in the previous games. Like Summer Forest, where it was where you could actually explore it in like a circular or linear fashion. You could have a race through it or a course. Autumn Springs, Autumn Plains, again you could do that. Winter Tundra not so much, but in Autumn Plains you could absolutely do that. Again in Spyro 1 you could also do that, maybe not in the Dreamweaver's homeworld, but you could generally do that. Now I'm going to very quickly wrap up Dragon Dojo because I need to shoot off in a minute, but I'm going to try and get the last of the Dragonflies there because that's where we need the Ice Breath. And we can't actually really start any levels there because we do kind of need to do the dragon level, that was the crocodile level we saw earlier. Let's save the game, probably a bad idea on the loading screen because it may crash and kill the game and all progress. That Discord notification is really grinding my gears. I want to check it, but I can't while the camera's on because my friends have asked me to keep the confidentiality. Like just for like my D&D, it's only D&D mates really, but still, mates all the same. Maybe one of them asking if I want to play a game of Splitgate. If you haven't played it already, like if you're frustrated with if you're frustrated with Halo Infinite, I strongly recommend Splitgate. It's really good. Also, it's a mixture of Portal and Halo. Yeah, so you use portals to zip around the map, and you can see through the portals as well. Shoot through them, no problem. So.
Spyro,
okay. So we can now freeze this little mite here. And free the kite. Step on the mite, free the kite. Although it doesn't appear as though may have to. I can't jump, can't glide, can't. Don't tell me I'm gonna lose progress in this game because I can't. So I have to stand at a very specific spot. I don't think that's refreshing yet. Okay. Stand. So it looks as though I can't actually solve this because I can't get up there. If I can't get up there, I can't do the puzzle. If I can't do the puzzle, I can't get the dragonfly. If I can't get the dragonfly, can't jump. Oh, well, I did there, but okay, so I have to just keep jamming it, I guess. So damn, no, it's not gonna work. I don't get enough jump. Can't get enough height to get up there, so hopefully this is just a temporary glitch with the emulator. But hold down X. Just no. Oh, there we go. Thank Christ. So hold down and it should give me some jump. Okay. Very nice reference to Spyro 3 there. That's the first one done.
Thanks for getting my cut. My buddies RJ and Dougie are flying their kites today too. Have you?
So now we've got to get the others. Yeah. So yeah, if you're tired of Halo Infinite, and you have every right to be with the way the Lone Wolves update is going, yeah, try Splitgate. Free to play as well. That's always a perk. But yeah, Halo Infinite, like it's decent, but I would give it like a 2 out of 5 for me. It's like I enjoyed it once, not so much now. Something as well, I noticed that Moneybags doesn't appear very often either. See, this level sort of encapsulates all the, I guess, good of the Spyro games, with like the backtracking, you know, Moneybags, you know, I don't know what else to be honest. The speedways, but there ain't really much else there. So it's a nice beginner level, but even then it's like you still got the problems of like not being able to detect where all the gems are and whatnot. Like the level being too spacious. Like this level just actually has some of the problems of Glimmer, the level, where like you don't know how many gems you can actually get because you need some backtracking from the next lobby. And I don't think that's really great having a first level, if I'm honest. Like I think the first level should be like you completed this. Like, okay, we're gonna give you a taste of like what completion feels like. You've done the first level, great. You know, have this, but then future levels aren't gonna be so easy. You are gonna have to you will require some backtracking. Oh damn, so close. So I think I've really just got to time the jump. Yeah, I don't need to hear all that. I'm sure the dialogue was very interesting, but no, I need to do this. I don't remember that being a problem in the. Actually, no, I don't lie. I do sort of remember it being a problem in the PS2 version, but yeah, I imagine it wasn't the problem for the others as well.
So much, Mr. Spyro. I've been looking for this kite all summer. A dragon without a dragonfly is like peanut butter without jelly. No, that's not quite right.
Okay, oh right, so I've got to talk to the other one about my Dragonfly then, maybe. Because there's 3 dragons without dragon kites. So I've got to go all the way back, because I didn't talk to him before. I don't know when this video is going to get uploaded. It might be on the day I record it, on the 21st of June, or it might be the following day. Here we go, because I automatically talks to him, this one's still the Dragonfly.
That was cold, but you saved my kite, so I guess I should... Look, Spyro, look what came out of the tree when you saved my kite. A baby dragonfly. Hey, it flew away.
Hey, it's Mooney.
Yay. So there you are, another... Oh, I'll tell you what. I'm done here, exit the level. I am very sure, thank you. Because it will save my progress. And I don't have to do that again. I better just check through all the levels, make sure that I have actually got all the gems that I can so far. 3,906 gems is a strange number to end on. Sorry, 3,706, I do apologise. Oh. Oh, it must be the 200 gems I spent on my bags. Okay. So I'm still missing 100 gems. Jurassic Jungle, okay. Monkey Monastery is the other one I'm missing. Ah! I think I know where the other few gems are. First of all, has anything changed over here? I doubt it has, but... Nope, okay. So who knows, maybe the remainder of the gems are in there. Can't go in there yet because it's locked. Also, gems in the walls. So let's go back, because I think I know where the remainder of some of these gems are at the very least. I sort of like what they've done with like having just one hub world. I just don't like that they've put so little care and attention into designing it. How you've got these like repeating fences to stop you from going over the edge, how the skyboxes don't really change, or... I like the levels enough like this. Such a shame you consider the separation. Where that hub world begins and where this one begins, you know? Like a more subtle difference. Like Spyro Hero's Tale, again, sort of got that right to an extent. So I haven't been up here, I don't think, at least all the way. Let's have a look if Monkey Monastery is up here, because that's the Thieves' Den down there. Yes, it is. So we go down this way. Zoop, 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 zoop. Yep, here we are. Monkey Monastery's this way. Bit of a trek, mind, but you know, it's icy. The lighting's very bright. I ain't gonna complain too much. So I'll just pick up these gems. I imagine these are the last of the gems that we need. And we've got 50 dragonflies. How nice. Got all 10 dragonflies, but we haven't got all the gems yet. So how many gems are left? Can't be that many, surely. 25. Decidedly 25 gems. So, there must be an area that we have to unlock later down the line. Because 25 gems, like, you don't just end on that sort of number, do you? By accident. So we have 50 dragonflies. That should buy us access to most of the levels, because you need a certain amount of dragonflies to unlock certain levels. So okay, we'll go with that. So I'm just going to put plonkers in front of the next level that we need to be at, and then proceed to quit. Nothing happening there. That's how we like it. You may have to remind me, folks, has the head bash come in handy at all in this game? I can't quite remember. I don't think it has. I'm trying to remember, I think there was maybe one container that we've used it for so far. So we've been down there, we've been down there. So now we have to be here. And this is where we're going to end the session. Session? Yeah, let's call it a session. Oh, hang on, we'll talk to this guy. Jimmy Bob. Oh, hello. Honey Marsh Rapids. Is that what they call it in the Atlas? Honey Marsh Rapids? Because I know Spyro games are a bit inconsistent with the names sometimes. No, it's just Honey Marsh. Never mind then. But that's okay. So, yep, so we'll continue the game next time, whenever that'll be. I don't know, it'll probably be a lot sooner actually, come to think of it, because I kind of want to get this game done before I go on holiday. So yeah, thank you for watching, take care, ta-ta for now.